Now, if you recall from my last video, I said I was going to do another special review. And that's what I'm going to do right now, as I bring to you a review of one of the many great Christmas classics, the original Miracle on 34th Street. Ho, 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 ho! This is Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. Ho, ho, ho! So greetings, my fellow YouTubers, and welcome to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. My name is Doyle, better known to you as the Big D, and this time around I bring to you a review of the 1947 Christmas dramedy flick, Miracle on 34th Street, released by Fox, written and directed by George Seaton, based on a story by Valentine Davies. Starring Maureen O'Hara, John Payne, Edmund, Gwynn, and a young Natalie Wood. Now, this film was initially released as The Big Heart in the UK. The story for this takes place between Thanksgiving Day and Christmas Day in New York City and focuses on the fact of a department store Santa Claus who claims to be the real Santa and has become a Christmas favorite. It hadn't been at first, but however, it's now grown on me a bit more, as I recently revisited this film the other day on Disney Plus. Yes, that's right, you can catch the film on Disney Plus. Anyway, let's get started with our story. Kris Kringle is indignant, sorry I mispronounced it, to find that the man assigned to play Santa in the annual Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade is intoxicated. Yep. Well, he apparently is looking for the event director, Doris Walker. Well, he complains her and finds out about this. This is what the part I found out, which was heard in a scene from Home Alone when Kevin sees there's no one around when he's up after his family's been gone for a while. Yeah, this scene is just like, after all drunk, it's like, jingle bells, jingle bells. Yeah, and man, Doris gets on to it's like, oh man, it's cold. You need to have a drink to keep warm. Oh boy, this guy was crazy. Anyway, she persuades Kris to take his place, and he does so well he is hired to play Santa at Macy's flagship New York City store on 34th Street. Ignoring instructions from the toy department head, Julian Shellhammer, to recommend overstocked items to undecided shoppers, Kris directs one woman to another store to fulfill her son's Christmas request. Initially confused, but nevertheless impressed with Kris's honesty and helpfulness, she informs Julian that she will become a loyal Macy's customer. Attorney Fred Gailey, Doris's neighbor, takes the young divorcee's daughter Susan to see Santa. So Doris has raised her to not believe in fairy tales, but Susan is shaken after seeing Kris speak Dutch with a girl who does not know English. Doris asks Kringle to tell Susan that he is not Santa, but he insists that he is. So, worried, Doris decides to fire him. However, Kris has generated so much positive publicity and goodwill for Macy's that R.H. Macy promises Doris and Julian bonuses. To alleviate Doris's misgivings, Julian has Granville Sawyer administer a psychological evaluation. Kris passes easily, but Sawyer still recommends his dismissal. The store expands on the concept of steering customers to competitors if necessary. To avoid looking greedy, Gimbel's implements and further expands the same policy, forcing Macy's and others to reciprocate. As a consequence, Kris does the impossible, reconciling their rivals Macy and Gimbel. Pierce, the doctor at Kris's nursing home, assures Doris that Kris is harmless. To alleviate Doris's worries, Pierce suggests Kris stay with someone. Fred volunteers. Later, Kris makes a pact with Fred. He will work on Susan's cynicism while Fred does the same with Doris's. When Susan reveals to Chris she wants a house for Christmas, showing him a photo of her dream house torn from a magazine, he reluctantly promises to do his best. In the company cafeteria, young employee Alfred tells Chris that Sawyer convinced him that he is unstable simply because he is kind-hearted. Chris immediately goes to Sawyer's office to confront him, eventually striking him on the head with an umbrella. Sawyer exaggerates his pain to have Chris confined to Bellevue Hospital, tricked into cooperating and believing Doris to be in on the deception. Chris deliberately fails his examination and is recommended for permanent commitment. However, Fred persuades Chris not to give up. Now, after hearing before Judge Henry X. Harper, District Attorney Thomas Mara gets Chris to assert that he is Santa Claus and rests his case. Fred argues that Chris actually is Santa. Mara requests Harper rule that Santa does not exist. In private, Harper's political advisor, Charlie Halloran, warns him that doing so would be disastrous for his upcoming re-election bid. But Harper buys time by hearing evidence. Doris quarrels with Fred when he quits his law firm to defend Chris, and Fred calls Macy as a witness. When Mara asks if he believes Chris to be Santa, Macy starts to equivocate. But when pressed, he responds, "I do." On leaving the stand, Macy fires Sawyer. Fred then calls Mara's own young son, who testifies that his father told him that Santa was real, and Mara concedes the point. After his son and wife leave the courtroom, Mara then demands that Fred prove that Chris is the one and only Santa Claus on the basis of some competent authority. While Fred searches frantically, Susan writes Chris a letter to cheer him up, which Doris also signs. When a New York post office mail sorter sees Susan's letter, which is addressed to Chris at the New York courthouse, he suggests delivering all the letters addressed to Santa Claus in the dead letter office to Chris. Wow. Now to the ending. You've got 5 seconds to stop this video. You know the procedure. Go to the description box below and fast forward to the time below. If you've seen the movie already, continue on after the 5 seconds. Here we go. Okay, you've been warned. When court resumes, Fred still has not found some competent authority to back Chris's claim, but then an official informs Fred on the arrival of the mail bags at the courthouse. And let me tell you, there's a ton of them. Fred presents Harper with 3 of the letters addressed simply to Santa Claus that were just now delivered to Chris, asserting that the post office, a branch of the U.S. federal government, has acknowledged that Chris is the one and only Santa Claus. Mara objects on the grounds that 3 letters alone do not constitute sufficient proof, and Fred tells Harper that he hesitates to produce many more such letters that he says that he has. When Harper insists, Fred has all of the letters addressed to Santa Claus in all the mailbox dumped onto Harper's desk. That's where you see a whole lot of them. Unpiling himself from the deluge of letters, Harper, with great relief, dismisses the case. On Christmas morning, at a celebration at Dr. Pierce's clinic, Susan loses faith in Chris when he does not give her the house she wanted. Chris offers Fred and Doris a route home that avoids traffic. Along the way, Susan sees the very image of her dream house with a for sale sign in front. Susan demands that Fred stop the car, whereupon she joyfully runs into the house, exclaiming, "Mr. Kringle is Santa Claus!" And Fred learns that Doris had encouraged Susan to have faith and suggests they purchase the house, a proposition with which Doris joyfully agrees. He then boasts that he must be a great lawyer since he proved an eccentric old man was Santa. However, when he and Doris spot a cane in the house that looks just like Chris's, he is not so sure that he worked this miracle alone. End of story. So, what did I think of Miracle on 34th Street? I'm going to tell you that after watching it again for the first time in a few years, I rarely get to watch this movie since it's not been on TV this year. And Disney Plus was the only place I could find it, so I revisited it, and I'm gonna tell you, it's really good. Now, it received lots of positive reviews and what have you, and it's known to become a favorite during the holiday season. It has actually been shown on TV, as a matter of fact. Anyway, it finally got released on home media on video cassette and laserdisc in 1987. But a couple of years before that, it became one of the first full-length black and white films to be colorized, and it would be released on video and laserdisc. Well, a few years later, followed by a 50th anniversary edition on the same formats, remastered by THX. It got released on DVD in 1999, featuring the original black and white version alongside the original theatrical trailer and a TV spot. In 2006, it was re-released as a 2-disc special edition, with disc 1 containing an all-new colorized version carried out by Legend Films, and the second disc had the original black and white version with numerous extras, including the 20th Century Fox Hours 1955 TV remake. I didn't notice that they had done that though. But anyway, it's really cool though. Anyway, the black and white disc for this has been re-released several times, including a pairing with the remake from 1994, which I'll talk about that sometime, maybe next holiday season. Okay. It got released on Blu-ray for the first time ever in 2009. And in 2017 it was restored in 4K resolution. Anyway, now the 1994 film came out, but there was also a made-for-TV version that came out in 1973, I think. I may be wrong. But it was more of a musical, though. In 1994, Fox released an update of the film, which was adapted from John Hughes, of course, the guy who gave us the Home Alone franchise, and directed by Les Mayfield, starring Sir Richard Attenborough as Kris Kringle, along with Elizabeth Perkins, Dylan McDermott, and many others, and young Mara Wilson, who the previous year was in Mrs. Doubtfire. But anyway, I really did love the cast for this film. Maureen O'Hara as Doris, John Payne as Fred, Edmund Gwynn as Chris, Gene Lockhart as Judge Harper, and Porter Hall as Sawyer, William Frawley as Charlie, Jerome Cowan as Mara, and Philip Tung as Julian. But the big thing about this was, we got to see her in a few scenes, was young Natalie Wood as Susan. I think the cast did an exceptionally good job, and I must admit that the story is really good too. So anyway, I really thought this was a good flick, and it's perfect to watch during the holiday season. And of course, the score from Cyril Mockridge is pretty good too. So the question is, would I recommend the original Miracle on 34th Street? Yes, I would. This is a great movie. I mean, it probably will grow on. It's growing me a bit more. It hasn't quite made my Christmas flicks list, even though I've gotten some others up, because this came out a year after It's a Wonderful Life came out. But anyway, I've come to really enjoy the original Miracle on 34th Street, which was really a good movie. So check it out. If you got it on physical media, good. If you don't, no problem. Just go to Disney Plus and you can catch it there. But anyway, what are your thoughts on Miracle on 34th Street from 1947? Please tell me in the comments section below. If you like this video, click the like button below, subscribe to my channel as well, and be a part of the Big D Nation. Join me next time when I bring to you my next review of a movie from Disney Plus, Stargirl, plus my Saturday morning TV log, my final Saturday morning TV log of 2020, The Wuzzles, will be coming up in the morning. But anyway, thanks for watching, and if you like this, you might want to check out some of these other holiday flicks. In the upper left-hand corner is my review of one of the flicks I was talking about, It's a Wonderful Life. In the upper right-hand corner is my review of one of Disney's great holiday flicks, The Santa Claus. Or if you'd like, or if you want, go to the bottom right-hand corner and see, bottom left-hand corner, I'm sorry, I lost track. My bad. Go to the bottom left-hand corner and see my recent review for probably one of the most underrated, well, one of the few underrated anime holiday classics, Cricket on the Hearth. And the bottom right-hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., then I'm your guy. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.